So we're continuing our discussion about the conditional tab object, and you can see here that if the class name starts with a minus sign, then we don't use the default class that is applied to the tab pane. The default class puts a border around the tab pane, but we don't want that, so I started with minus and then none, which actually is not even a defined CSS class at this point. So you can see now I don't get the standard border around the tab panes. So here's our tab panes now using the automatic selection method. So for users who have used desktop forms in Alpha 5, this is now equivalent to something called a conditional object on the desktop, and it's very useful in the sense that it allows you to create highly dynamic forms where whole sections of the form are displayed or hidden depending on the value of some other control, and it makes it very easy to define the setup using this the tab metaphor. So now let's take a look at an example where automatic makes sense. Clearly in this case here, automatic wouldn't make any sense. There's not really a good use case to switch from a tab that has input controls to another tab on a timer, but there are use cases where that does make sense. So let's take, for example, let's go now to this object over here, and if we go to controls, we'll see over here we have again a tab control over there, but for each tab now the contents of each tab has been set to an image. And then if we go over to our tab properties, our method for selecting the active tab, here we've set the method to timer, and then we've set the timer interval to 2 seconds. So then also what we've done is we've turned on animation, so that as we switch from one tab to the next tab, there's some animation going on. And we've set the animation style to drop. There are a whole bunch of different animation styles, and we've chosen the animation speed to be fast. And then for the hide animation, we've said none. That's when the tab is closed. So now let's go over to working preview and see how it looks. So you can see here are some images that we are basically navigating between, and this is a metaphor that you see used a lot in different websites. So you can see that as we move from image to image, there's a little set of icons at the bottom that indicate where you are in this progression. So currently we're looking at the second image in the series, now the third, then the fourth, then the fifth, and then finally when we get to the sixth image, we're going to rotate back to the first image, and the active image is shown with the yellow dot. So you can see the yellow dot is moving along there. But if I were to go and click on any one of those buttons, that's going to automatically advance me to that image. So right now if I were to go there and click, say, on image number 6, we can jump to image number 6 and then continue the progression from there. So if I go there and click on there, you can see how we move automatically. So this is a good use case for the automatic method, and what I'm going to do now in the next video is explain some of the coding behind this dialog, where we set up these buttons over here. So let's pause now and pick this up in the next video.